Okay, we're going to talk for just a few minutes about the other half of the team. The other half of the team. And I want to start with an example from geese. Human teams could learn a lot about teamwork by observing geese. Every winter, flocks of geese take to the skies and work together to achieve their common goal of reaching a warmer climate. Common errors with human teams include lack of communication and allowing some members to take all the pressure while others coast through. But flocks of geese never have these problems. As they fly, they honk loudly, motivating their tired teammates. And by flying in a V-shaped formation, the leaders reduce air drag for those behind them. When the lead goose is struggling, another one from the back swaps to give their companion a break. The result means that all members of the flock work and recover equally. Ecclesiastes 4:9 tells us it's better to have a partner than go it alone. Share the work, share the wealth, and if one falls down, the other helps them up. You know, we often hear about the importance of the role of the leader of a prayer group and not so much about the other half of the team, the partner, the support, the spouse. But both are needed and important, but they have different roles to play. So choosing to work together with a partner is simply taking advantage of every help available to you. No one has to be a hero and do it all yourself. Take a lesson from the geese. Sometimes you just need a break. A synonym for a partner would be companion, friend, ally, participant, assistant, sidekick, helper. In small groups, there are many benefits to working together with a partner. For one, you get the opportunity to work together toward a common goal. We're working in God's kingdom, and working together just gives it a little more joy. Secondly, when you work together as a team, it brings you together in a closer bond. And two voices are better than one. A different voice can bring a different perspective to the topic. Just hearing something explained in a different way from someone else, a different point of view, kind of sometimes gives clearer understanding. I want to give you a for instance. I remember one prayer group experience where we were talking about hearing the voice of God. And so my husband, as the leader, he introduced the topic and he talked a little about it. And then he turned to me unexpectedly and said, "Could you speak to that from your point of view, something you have experienced?" So I took a few minutes and I talked about some of the experiences that I've had hearing God's voice. And then another person in the group wanted to share, and another person and another person all wanted to participate. But at the close of that group, one member expressed, "I think I've been hearing God's voice for a long time, but I wasn't sure what it was. But after hearing tonight how God's voice is different from everyone, for everyone, I've finally been able to identify and be assured that it is God's voice that I'm hearing. So now I'm going to relax and know I should listen and feel reassurance when I hear that voice." So that is what the goal is. We're trying to help people understand. We're trying to give them some tools maybe they don't have. Understanding maybe they haven't had before. And someone coming along and saying it just a little bit differently could make a light bulb go on for somebody. So in a nutshell, when we are not in competition with one another, but we're focused on the good of those that we're leading, and when we're able to respect and value our partner and appreciate each other's individual giftings, we can receive the best benefits from working together as partners. So I think that's why the illustration of the geese taking turns, sharing the load, is a good description of how partners should operate in a prayer group. The role of the other half really is stepping up and sharing the load without taking over. You don't need to become the leader. You're just there as the helper. And that includes being sensitive to what's being needed at the time. Being sensitive to maybe someone that's got a need in the group that you could minister, looking for ways to come alongside your partner and just be the help. That doesn't make you less. It makes you a partner. So as I was thinking about what to share today, two words came into my mind: impact and influence. And I hope that these words will make an impact on you today, and they will influence you when you may feel like your contribution as a partner is less important than the leader's, because the truth is, each role is equally important. They work in conjunction with one another. They're a help to each other. So the first word, impact. The other half of the team, with simple but intentional contributions, can make a great impact. And one way you can do that is to set the environment. Create a welcoming environment in your home, a comfortable, clean meeting area that's spacious, where people feel like they have a place to sit, and aesthetically pleasing, decorated nicely, and as free of clutter as possible, so that we don't have to step over boxes and bags to go find a chair. It just makes it so much more welcoming when the area has been all set up and it looks very nice. It's just amazing how the comfort level of the attendees rises just from being in a clean, welcoming environment that has been covered with prayer. That creates an atmosphere where God can work. So that sounds like a simple little thing, but it's really not. It makes a huge difference. Be welcoming when people come into your home. Go to the door, open it for them, greet them as they come in. Smile as if you are happy that they are at your house. Invite them to come in, offer them a place to put their personal belongings, invite them to enjoy a refreshment, and talk with people like you're interested in their life. Sounds like small, simple things, but sometimes we just don't think about some of these things. As you're having your fellowship time, connect with the people in your prayer group. If you have visitors, go introduce yourself. Don't wait for them. Go and be the person who makes them feel welcome, and then introduce them to other people in the group so that they feel welcome and at home. And most of all, just be real. Just be yourself. It doesn't really work to try to act like something that you're not. People just want real. And then the other word, influence. Do you know every day we're being influenced by things we see, like this sign? I dream of a world where chickens can cross the road without having their motives questioned. Silly, huh? But if you just think about it, you're being bombarded all the time. And we are doing that too. Everywhere we go, we are influencing people for good or not. But if we've got the love of God flowing out of us, we're influencing for good. And that's what we want to happen in a prayer group, is influence people to want to come back. Influence them to want to connect with God. The way you can do this in a simple way is to be a support. Try to be in accord with your partner, to be on the same page. Understand what we're trying to work toward. We have a goal. Is to minister to these people that are in our prayer group, to encourage them tonight, to help motivate them for a deeper walk with God. So make sure that even in your spirit, you're in accord with your partner. Pray together so that you can be in accord with each other. And then I think this is a very important point, to realize your words or actions have the possibility of bringing tension or peace to the home atmosphere. If you're a partner that doesn't really want to be there and you think nobody knows that, think again, because you are letting that come out of you, and you get frustrated and you talk sharply. So you control that. And that's about attitude. I can learn to change my attitude. I can pray until I'm in the right attitude. So realize that can happen. Pray often for your partner. Pray with your partner. And be selfless. Be an encourager to your partner, because that encourages you. It's like you're one. So if you are not on their side, where are you? You're on your own. The other simple way that you can be a great help with your partner is to contribute during the prayer group. Stay connected with the leader. Pay attention to what he's talking about. Pay attention to what's happening in the spirit and what's happening in the group. Don't just let your mind wander off and think about other things. Stay connected. During the worship times, the prayer times, pray aloud, worship aloud. Your partner really needs that help because sometimes, especially visitors, don't feel comfortable praying out loud, singing out loud, or worshiping out loud. So that's where you can step right in there and do that and help the group to go more smoothly. If you listen to what is being talked about, then you will be able to be in tune with the Spirit and have some thoughts. And if your partner does like my husband did to me that night and suddenly ask you to share, at least you might have something in your mind because your mind is on what's going on. It could just be an encouraging word. It could be an illustration. It could be something that's happened to you. It could be an insight that you feel from God. Very simple things. It doesn't have to be theologically blowing people out of the water. It's just something simple that might minister to people. Contribute without dominating. You just give your part, and then your partner comes up and does the rest. If there's people in your group, whenever they are asked, does anyone have a comment? Does anyone want to share something? And I know you've been in prayer groups like this where nobody says anything. Well, be the one to step up first because you maybe could generate other people wanting to participate. We tend to be intimidated as the other half of the team if we let ourselves believe that we don't have worthwhile thoughts to share. And the truth is there's many things that God has already placed in you, and you've been receiving them for years and years as you pray and you are in relationship with Him. He put them in you so that you can share them. That wasn't just for you. It was to build things within you so that whenever God puts you in places to influence, you have something to share. So you have a unique perspective. You have something to give. You have something to share. No one has had the experiences that you have had. No one has the personal testimony that you have. And no one can argue with you about those things. They are personal, but they are also for you to share for other people. So go ahead. Just go ahead. Impact and influence, and let God do the rest.